condition. So I decided to call a couple of daycares, and I actually told them, she's autistic. And I called, and a couple of them were like, yes, we have availability. But the moment I said she's autistic, they're like, sorry, but we will not be able to contain her in our daycare. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna tell the daycares that she's autistic, and maybe it's gonna be different. So I decided to take my kids out from where they were to another daycare in a new area with my dog. Hello, everybody. My name is Anne. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you once more to our YouTube channel, The Macros Family Journey with Autism. As you all know, our daughter, Imego, who just turned 6 years old, is autistic, and it's been a challenging journey for us. And so we just decided, to come out and share our story, because we realized that just like us, there are many parents that are also going through challenges, and we just want to build a community where we can put our heads together to raise our kids and give them all the love and the support that they need. So today's video is really gonna be very emotional. I believe you read the caption. So I'm going to talk about my worst moment being a mom to an autistic kid. So I'm just going to give 5 worst moments and how I felt in those moments. And I actually wrote them down just because I don't want to get too emotional and miss out on, the points that I want to give. And the reason for this video is not for anyone to feel sorry or pity for me, but I know that there are also many parents out there that are going through this pain. And me sharing this, I just want somebody to be like, me too, I'm not alone. And then together, we can support each other, because when you have support, the journey becomes easier. And on this journey, my husband has been like the greatest pillar, my greatest support has been my husband on this journey. I can say even to this moment, I'm still learning to accept that my daughter has a condition. I remember there was a time my husband even told me, which I believe, our daughter is healed. We have prayed, we are people of faith, we have prayed, and we believe that God has healed our daughter. But there's a scripture that says faith without works is dead. So we have to do everything humanly possible to see that our daughter is fine, while we keep praying and trusting God. So I just have 5 worst moments that I'm going to talk about. So number 1, it's not in chronological order, so this just comes like, Number 1 is the moment when my daughter was being rejected from all the daycares in my area. I still remember this moment vividly. So there was a time when, I really felt like my daughter needed an environment where she could socialize with other kids. And so I thought maybe the daycare would be a good option. Sometimes it will be good for her to socialize with other kids. Maybe once in a week, twice in a week. Since the other her younger siblings were going to daycare already, I was like, okay, it would be good that she goes to the daycare as well. So my husband and I make the decision of sending her to a daycare. And so the first day she went to the daycare, we received a note that she had like scratched somebody, because she likes to touch. That's one sign of autism. In some kids, they don't love to be touched at all, but for her, she likes to like touch. So, or when she's mad, or if you take her toy, you know, she tries to like grab it back, and in that process, she might injure somebody. So we received that note. And the second day she went, we received another note that said throughout the time when she was there, she was trying to run out of the classroom while the other kids were focused in class. She kept trying to run. And so the daycare management said they will not be able to take care of her because of her condition. They don't have like enough staff to watch over her. So they are sorry that they will not be able to contain her in their daycare. And that day they called, when they called us to pick her up at the daycare, I was with my husband and we came there, and the lady told us this is what's going on and we can't keep her. It was not even at the end of the day, it was like still midday. So I left from there. I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, okay. I took her home and we decided to give another try. So we went to another daycare. The first day they said she was trying to run again. And the staff said they don't have enough staff to take care of her. So they have to send her back home. They called us, we came and picked her up. It was at this point where I was like, okay. Should I try another daycare? Or maybe should I just accept that no daycare is gonna be able to handle her situation because of her situation. So I decided to call a couple of daycares, and I actually told them, you know, she's autistic, and you know, I called and a couple of them were like, yes, we have availability. But the moment I said she's autistic, they're like, sorry, but we will not be able to contain her in our daycare. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna tell the daycares that she's autistic, and maybe it's gonna be different. So I decided to take my kids out from where they were to another daycare in a new area with my daughter. The first day we went to that daycare, I remember she didn't even spend like up to 4 hours, and I was called like, hey, you guys should come and pick your daughter up. We can't keep her here. She keeps trying to run away and we don't have enough staff to watch over her. At that moment, I was just like, okay, no daycare want to accept her, so I'm just gonna have to be at home taking care of her. I cannot do anything for myself since her dad works and he has to focus on making sure that the family is taken care of. So sometimes I just want to keep her in the daycare because I need my peace of mind. I just wanted some time for myself as well. And I realized that, okay, no daycare is going to take her. And so going to this new daycare, when they called me, I I had a lot of emotions going on. I felt embarrassed. I felt mad. So when I came there, I took her away. I did not even take her clothes. And when I went back home, they called me. They were like, oh, you left her clothes. Do you want to come and get them? It's been about 2 years today. I didn't go back. I didn't go back to take those clothes. I was like, what was even the need? Like, I just had to accept the fate that, okay, there isn't any daycare that will be able to take care of an autistic kid for whatever reason, you know. I even thought maybe my husband and I, we should create our own daycare for autistic kids, you know. All kinds of thoughts were running through my mind, you know. So I brought her home. And I'm happy that I'm saying this story now and I'm not even crying, because every time I think about this, I get so emotional. So we came back home, and so since then, I didn't even bother ever sending her to any daycare, because I was tired of explaining myself, and I was tired of all the rejections. People telling me, your daughter, she doesn't understand, she doesn't listen, she keeps trying to run away. And so I was just tired of listening to all those things. That really breaks my heart. And to see other kids, you know, being able to socialize, have fun with other kids, I feel like those are great moments that she was missing out, you know. However, I'm also grateful that she has siblings. So one of the things that my husband came up with was that let's try to incorporate her in every family activity that we do together. That way she's going to learn like social skills. And so that's what we did. And I'm glad we're where she is today, because she's able to socialize with her siblings. And I believe that is going to rub off when she goes out in the community as well. So that's one point. Just let me know wherever you are. It could be in the United States, in Canada, Australia, or whichever country. How is the daycare system like? Was that let's try to incorporate her in every family activity that we do together. That way she's going to learn like social skills. And so that's what we did. And I'm glad we're where she is today, because she's able to socialize with her siblings. And I believe that is going to rub off when she goes out in the community as well. So that's one point. Just let me know wherever you are. It could be in the United States, in Canada, Australia, or whichever country. How is the daycare system like? What are some, have you faced any challenge as a mom or as a family with an autistic kid? Have you faced any challenge like with daycares? Have you faced any challenge, or are there daycares that just, you know, accept every kid? Let me know in the comment section. And how are you doing to see that your autistic child socialize? Because we know that's a very essential skill that they need to be able to interact with their peers and feel like they belong in the community which they are growing up in. So just let me know in the comment, and then I'll head right away to point number 2, which is gonna be